Have you ever needed to reinstall your SSL certificate only to discover that you no longer have the private key? This can happen for several reasons. Maybe your hosting account expired and your provider deleted your old cPanel account, causing you to lose your website files and the private key that was stored on that cPanel account. Or you migrated your website to a new hosting provider or a new cPanel account. Or maybe the original private key was accidentally deleted. Even though you still have access to your Namecheap's PositiveSSL certificate and can download the certificate, the CA bundle, and other SSL files from your Namecheap dashboard, you still won't be able to install the SSL certificate without the matching private key. The reason is simple. Every SSL certificate is issued using a unique private key and certificate signing request, CSR. The good news is that if your Namecheap PositiveSSL certificate is still active, you don't need to purchase a new SSL certificate. You can simply reissue the certificate with a new private key. In this tutorial, I will show you how to generate a new private key, use that CSR to reissue your PositiveSSL certificate through Namecheap, and install the certificate successfully on your cPanel account. Now that we understand why we need to reissue the certificate, let's begin. The first step is to log into your Namecheap account. From your dashboard, navigate to SSL certificates. Here, you will see all the SSL certificates associated with your account. Locate your PositiveSSL certificate. As you can see, the certificate is still active and you can also view its validity period. Now, although the certificate is active, we can't simply download and reinstall it because the original private key is no longer available. To begin the reissue process, click the arrow next to download and select reissue. Enter the domain name or subdomain name you want to secure, then click next. For most of you, your domain would have been pre-filled. On the next page, you will see the SSL lifetime limit information. I will be completing this process manually, so I'll click continue manually. We are now on the certificate signing request page. Notice that Namecheap requires us to provide a CSR. If there need be, you can check their knowledge base on how to reissue an SSL certificate. Although we may still have the original CSR, it belongs to the private key that has been lost. So if you read the notes on the page, Namecheap also recommends generating a new CSR when reissuing an SSL certificate. Let's generate a brand new one. Open a new browser tab, search for CSR generator, and open decoder.link. On the advanced CSR generator page, enter the domain name you want to secure. Then continue to generate the CSR. The generator immediately creates a new CSR and its matching private key. This private key is extremely important. Your SSL certificate can always be downloaded from your Namecheap account after it has been issued. Now, let's copy the newly generated CSR. Return to the Namecheap reissue page, paste the CSR into the request field, and click next. We will verify ownership of our domain. So for the validation method, select add a new CNAME record. You can see there's a number of them here. We will be adding this record through both Namecheap and cPanel so the certificate authority can verify that we own the domain. Once that is done, we'll go ahead and click on submit. You will now be returned to the SSL dashboard where the certificate status shows as pending activation. You can also select to read through how to add CNAME record from this page. There's a link here you can use. From this page, click from this page, edit method. On the next page, click edit methods, then select get record. Namecheap will now provide the CNAME validation records, including the host and target values that we would need to add to our DNS. At this point, let's begin by adding the records in Namecheap. So navigate to domain list, click manage next to your domain, and then proceed to advanced DNS. Scroll down to host records and click add new record. We are adding that of a CNAME record, so we will select to add a CNAME record. Now return to the validation page and copy the host value. Do not include the domain string because Namecheap automatically appends it for you. Paste that host value, then copy the entire value for the target and paste it into the target field. Click the check mark to save the record. Next, we will add the same CNAME records in cPanel. So what we're going to do here is to log into our cPanel and navigate to Zone Editor. Click Manage, then select Add Records and choose Add CNAME Record. Once again, we will copy the host value and paste it into the name field. Then we'll copy the target value and paste it into the CNAME or target field. You can optionally reduce the TTL value to 60 seconds to help the DNS update more quickly. We will then save the record. Now, with the validation records in place, we can now move on to installing the SSL certificate. Return to the CSR generator and retrieve the private key that was generated earlier. We will need it during the installation process. But the private key is your responsibility. Store it somewhere safe, because if you lose it again, you would need to repeat this entire reissue process before you can reinstall the certificate. Next, return to your Namecheap SSL dashboard. Once the validation has completed successfully, the certificate will be issued, so you can now download the updated SSL certificate package. Extract the downloaded file to access the certificate files. Now, let's install the SSL certificate in cPanel. From the cPanel homepage, open SSL/TLS under the Security section. Navigate to Installations. Under Installation, select your domain from the drop-down list. Now, we would paste the required SSL files. First, we'll paste the private key that was generated with the CSR. Next, we'll paste the newly issued certificate from Namecheap. And then finally, the CA bundle. Now, as long as all three files belong together, cPanel will accept them without any errors. If there's a mismatch between the private key and certificate, cPanel will display an error. So always make sure you are using the correct files. Once everything has been validated successfully, click Install Certificate. And that's it. The SSL certificate has now been installed successfully on your domain. If you return to the cPanel homepage, you will see that the SSL warning has disappeared. And finally, you can visit your website and refresh the page. And as you can see, the website is now secured with HTTPS, confirming that the SSL certificate has been installed successfully. And that is how you reissue and reinstall a Namecheap PositiveSSL certificate after losing your private key or moving to a new server. Alright, if you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.